My name is Tiffany and welcome to the Foxy Sunrise YouTube channel. Today we have a pick a card reading, and the topic for this one is how are we programmed and what is our programming? Another word for programming can be conditioning. So what is our conditioning? I thought this would be a pretty wicked topic to do. And I can't wait to see what comes out. I always love when weird topics come out. So all the timestamps will be down below in the description box. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this reading. And also in the description box will be links to other offerings that I do have, as well as my Instagram handle. So choose as many groups as you're drawn to for this reading, and I'm going to go ahead and show you each card. This is group 1. It says, the rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life. Number 4. Pile 2 is, when I let others shine, I shine too. Number 38 in reverse. And group 3, we are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. And this is number 39. Okay, like I said, all the timestamps are down below in the description box. Choose as many groups as you would like, and I will see y'all at your pile. Hello, group 1. If you chose the rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life, this is your reading about how you are conditioned or programmed. So I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to shuffle on camera, but I'm going to speed up the shuffling, and then I will talk to you once I am finished with all of your cards. So I will see you then. Okay, pile 1, I am finished shuffling for your group. So when I was looking at this card in reverse, I was thinking of control and anxiety. So your conditioning has a lot to do with your anxiety, need for control, and even judgment of others and yourself, hindering you from this growth. It's either giving you the impression of stagnancy, or there is a stagnancy. And I say the impression of stagnancy because there may be a lot of things that are growing around you, but because it's not the things that you want or the way that you would want them to be, there is this idea of there being a lack of growth. I also feel that this judgment and anxiety can cause a lot of indecision, and we have this card here that is representing the rhythm of breath directs the rhythm of life. And the rhythm of breath, when I think of proper breathing, it also gives me an image of a person who is very relaxed and embodied. But because this is in reverse, I'm getting like an image of somebody who is on edge, who is very tense, who is very rigid and stubborn. And it's funny, this card is the number 4 card, and then the Emperor came out, which is the number 4 card. So you have 2 major arcana cards here. This to me just makes me feel like this group may be somebody who is very much in their masculine and isn't exactly fluid. They may also be a person who has to know what's going on before they can make a decision. They have to know all of the details. I'm getting Virgo energy here, Capricorn energy, as well as Scorpio energy. And if you don't know your birth chart and you do know your time of birth, which will give you the most detail for that investigation, I do have a link under the timestamps if you're interested in that. But yeah, this group gives me the feeling of also always being right. So we have 2 doors here, which makes me think of 2 different perspectives or 2 different sides. So this group may be very polarizing in the way that they make decisions, like it's black or white. There's no gray area. And also very domineering in their energy, very forceful. Not really able to relax. Not really able to go with the flow. And this can even, if the growth isn't stagnant, it can slow down any exponential growth that can be had through letting go of the reins a little bit. And I'm going to read this card as well. I'm going to skim through the description of the card to see what comes out for me, what stands out for me. But if we look at the image of this woman here, she looks really anxious, like she's on edge. So again, there's this imagery of just being on edge. Yeah, like someone is creeping up behind her. And again, we have a number 2, the balance, the number of balance. We also have here as well a half moon. I think that's what it would be called. I'll have to check the description. But this again, with this imagery of the 2 doors and the half moon and the number 2, I'm getting that this group needs more balance from their feminine side, their feminine side of receiving, and not needing to control things all the time. Another thing here is Uranus. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, which is also a fixed sign, and fixed signs are known for being very stubborn at times and hard to convince otherwise if they already have an idea of something in their mind. But we have Leo here in reverse under the bottom of the deck. So I feel that these cards are really encouraging you to be a little bit more spontaneous, because Uranus can be very spontaneous. That's the positive side of Uranus, is just unexpected changes, things that we can't really control, kind of things happening all of a sudden. And again, we have this guy here, and he also looks anxious a little bit, like something scared him. So this group, I feel, doesn't like surprises. They don't like things that they don't know are going to be coming. But to get out of this conditioning, you're needing to step into the other aspect of Uranus, which is kind of just ready for anything, any curveball that comes its way. And also with Leo here, there's this, because of this rigidity, Leo is very creative and also associated with the inner child. And with this rigidity, this need for control, this dominating energy, it blocks your ability, again, to grow. I feel like creativity is a part of assisting you in your exponential growth. So this creativity and also this release of control will assist you in tapping into aspects of yourself that you may have forgotten, that may be in your subconscious here. And we have the Moon card at the bottom of the deck in reverse as well, which makes me feel that this hanging on, this need for control, this need for having to know what's going on with your path or what direction you're going to go to is causing a lot of disturbances in your mental health, possibly, or even your emotional health, which can go back to all of these images of people that look really, really anxious and on edge and high strung. And it's because of maybe even the subconscious knowing that you can't control everything. You can't always know what comes with every step that you take. A lot of the times with a spiritual path or following our intuition, we're given breadcrumbs. We're not given a whole blueprint of what to expect for the next 20 years, for the next 40 years. This group feels like they have a 20-year plan, an idea of how things should go, even when they should get pregnant. Just this group feels like they're very much detail-oriented or plan-oriented, and when things go askew, they're just like, I don't know what to do now. You know, it might feel like the end of the world. So again, I'm looking at this Leo energy and I'm feeling an encouragement to play, to relax, to do things because, and not with some kind of ulterior motive or goal in mind. This group feels very goal-oriented and dare I say closed-minded. Very much my way is the right way. And I'm also getting this image, the way that she's looking side-eyed at the Emperor. I'm also getting this idea of like, maybe you say things that are kind of harsh, or the way that you kind of are pushy with things. I'm getting like Leo, the darker side of Leo energy, as well as maybe a Leo moon, but maybe you have this way of kind of bossing people around, and then people look at you side-eyed like, what's wrong with that person? Or like, why is she acting like that? Or like they have to walk on eggshells with you. Aries rising. You could be an Aries rising. Mercury in Aries, Mars in Aries. But yeah, people may look at you side-eyed when you're not aware of it, and they're just like, wow, this person really just walked all over me or skipped me in the line or pushed me to the side, and they just didn't give a fuck about about what I was doing. Which, I mean, this trait has its place. It doesn't have to be thrown away, but again, there's this need to kind of move towards a softer aspect of yourself. And again, programming and conditioning, I say again, like I said this already, but programming and conditioning can be something that was structured, was a foundation that we've been standing on due to something in the past. So maybe you were bullied, or maybe you didn't have a voice in your household unless you yelled, or maybe you didn't feel heard unless you were forceful and you kind of had to bulldoze your way to even be heard or to have your voice counted for. So this could be a foundation. And I'm getting the Tower card here. Uranus can sometimes be associated with the Major Arcana card in the tarot, the Tower card. And the Tower card is a divine intervention. It is a destruction of a faulty foundation. So this Uranus card can also point to a judgment call, if you will, of you needing to release your impulse to be in control all the time, to be right all the time, to be rigid. And this group, I feel, has shallow breathing. Some of you may not take deep breaths, when you're more mindful of the way that you breathe, you may notice that you're a little bit tight and tense. So get a massage or play with paint, go outside, dance around your house naked, something that'll get you out of this, like, this group feels very serious too, like this need to be serious, to just, I'm seeing boxes, I'm seeing cubicles, so just like, or over identifying with something or labeling things, or again, we're looking at the Judgment card. This isn't the most promising way to go about life at this point, because it can take a toll on your health. And even if we're not talking mental and emotional health, it could just be stressful being this kind of way, carrying this energy for much longer. Maybe you have, I'm feeling like acid reflux. That can be caused by stress. Chest pains, digestive issues. This could all be caused by a need to tighten and control. So a need to be uptight, not a need to be uptight, but just being uptight and having to be in control all the time. So let's look at this card, number 2. Okay, it's pretty short. Okay, this is the first quarter. It's not a half moon. I mean, it looks like a half moon, but it's the first quarter. The saying with this is, I feel I am not worth enough. Wow, that's crazy. So you may feel you have to overdo things, or do like you do too much to prove your worth. You feel you have to be overly masculine to prove your worth. Maybe you're actually a softer, more feminine type of energy, but you feel that if you're too nice or accommodating, people won't take you seriously. So that could be another angle of this. So the sentence, so there's a quote, and then there's a sentence that says, my body is the temple of my soul. It has no secrets to me. This card is about the darkness in the body. Culture can make us take distance from what is our corporality. So many religions and customs, for instance, demonize sex in many different ways, lacing it with guilt, as an assassin could lace food with poison. On the other side, we are collaborators in cheapening our body, hiding it, being shamed by it, selling it, giving it away for nothing. It happens when we accept an abusive relationship, when we refuse to respect the body of another, or more simply, when we do things like being too lazy to eat healthfully. Our body is a temple. It cannot be defiled. We can take a shower, raise our chin, feel proud. It is our body, ours. So I'm getting workaholic energy with this. And even maybe some kind of abuse, like it says here. There may have been some kind of trauma around your body that has caused you to step into this sort of like protective warrior on edge energy. So maybe somebody, took advantage of you. Maybe there was some sort of misconduct that happened in your past that has caused you to feel like you have to have all of these walls, and you need to know what step is ahead. You need to be one step ahead. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really sad. This is feeling a little heavy, so I just want to recommend that there may be some extra steps that need to be taken to move through this mindset and this conditioning to help you to uncover your inner child energy, this Leo energy here, to help you be more free, to help you with, if you are having anxiety, to help you with anxiety. So I definitely recommend you finding the resources that work best for you, that are helpful and healthy and nourishing and supportive. So group one. That was a little long, but that is your reading on your programming and how you are conditioned. I hope that enlightens you some. And if you want more readings like this one, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. And check out the description box if you're interested in my other offerings. And following me on Instagram. So I will see y'all again soon, and I love you. Hello, group 2. If you chose When I Let Others Shine, I Shine Too. This is your reading on how you were programmed. So I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna pick up whatever I get from this card, and then I'm going to fast forward while I'm shuffling the cards. And then I'm going to continue on with the message from there. So starting with just this card. My necklace keeps making noises. When I let others shine, I shine too. When this card came out to me, the instant, easy download was, oh, this person must just be really jealous. But when I was looking deeper, a little bit deeper, it feels like scarcity. So I'm getting a Leo moon here, or Leo rising, or even Aquarius moon. And if you don't know your astrological birth chart, and you do have your time of birth, which gives you the most specific information, I do have a link underneath the timestamps, so you can check that information out if you are led to do so. So I say Aquarius moon because I'm getting a couple of angles. One is, what's the point of me shining because other people are doing what I'm doing? Or you see how other people shine, but you don't see how you shine as well. And by you recognizing how other people shine, you have to real recognizes real kind of thing. Or a third aspect could be, I have to be the shiniest motherfucker in this room because there's not enough for all of us here. So which is funny, but let me go ahead and shuffle, speed up the shuffle, and I will see y'all in a few seconds. Okay, group 2. I really feel guided to read this one. I've never seen this card actually, and it's card number 6, third quarter, stage acceptance. The quote is, "In solitude I stand, in solitude I may shine. Under the morning light, in a closed and quiet court, paved with stones, laced by trees, a beautiful woman sits naked on a precious bench. Many blankets or drapes are around her, in color red and white, like discarded wings. Sentence, I made my home a cloister, my heart a chalice for the faintest breeze, and yet I stand alone. Wow. Waiting for something to come back when we parted ways. We promised to each other, I will wait for you and I will come back. We may have used different words like it's just for a few months, or a sharper pen like I don't need you. Still we are waiting. Mind has lost hope. Body has lost memory, but our heart is still incomplete. It is shrined into a blessed feeling of longing and desire, innocence and hope, but it also entombed into a well of solitude and distance. It built walls to stall the passage of time, and the walls kept out everything. Will the prince come, or has the world gone silent while we waited? Waiting is a transition. It has a beginning and it has an end. Waiting is the night. Morning brings the sun of a new day. Wow, that's really beautiful. Oh, okay. This went a different angle, I would say. So we have Cancer at the bottom of the deck for the astrology cards, and Taurus here. I'm also getting Libra energy as well because of the dark mirror description of this card. And then we have Five of Cups here and the Chariot. Overall, I'm getting just a feeling of being in the past, of kind of watching life go by, and also there's a tinge of codependency. Like, here's a sense of something being on pause on this waiting imagery that we had with the alone in the world. So here's another like stall of a destination, and then again with the Chariot in reverse, there's like a block, like a self-inflicted block to move forward. And I say codependency again because Taurus is very, very patient, and patient to a detriment of staying in a situation that really needs to be walked away from for better offerings. But again, it's like this group is stuck, and you have so much that you have worked with, so much to offer, whether you've been working on something recently or just in general in life. Like you kind of start things, but maybe you don't finish them. Things take a while, and maybe you give up immediately. Or I mentioned codependency. There could be this need to depend on other people to help you move forward, to give you the energy to be motivated, to finally shine. I feel that with the rest of these cards, this card to me now means you have put a lot of attention on other people, and maybe even put people on pedestals. I'm getting a little bit of Pisces energy here too, of putting people on pedestal because you feel that they have something that you don't have to offer, and you're seeing how they shine and kind of waiting. I'm also getting a sort of, again, this Libra energy of, I'm getting the image and even the feeling of looking at other people on social media and thinking that they have something going on that you don't, and so you're almost waiting around as if it's more of a kind of a luck of the draw sort of situation where you'll just kind of be who you're supposed to be versus going after it. Again, like there's an emphasis on other people influencing your conditioning. And so this card also talked about solitude, and the quote said, "In solitude I stand, in solitude I may shine." And again, it's funny, it says shine here, and we also have the card that is shine. So maybe you even think that by being, the way you shine is through your relationships, is through who you're with, who you're dating, who you're friends with. And what you're being invited to do and to consider is that you shine alone. there's a lot of cards of people alone. This is the only one where it's in reverse. And so again, I'm being told like it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to take this walk, this journey on your own. So maybe these are cups that other people have given you and you've accepted them. Maybe you have some people-pleasing tendencies. You just kind of take what you were offered. But it takes a lot of empowerment and strength to be like, I know there's 8 cups here, but they aren't offering me shit. So I'm gonna go in this direction and see what's over there. And I don't care if it means I have to walk this path alone. I'm getting that Green Day song is playing in my head. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That's such a sad. I walk alone, I walk alone. My shadow's the only one that walks beside me. Yeah, no. That's such a weird. I feel like, I'm sorry. It's not funny. But this card kind of makes me think of that too. It's like, yeah, you walk alone, but like sometimes you have to do that for this journey. If you're waiting around for other people to catch up with you, that could be another thing. You're like, wait, I know that I have all of these ideas and I planted all these seeds, but like, what about my boyfriend? He doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at these examples. It's just funny. It's like, my man doesn't have a car yet, and you know I want to travel, but you know, I'm waiting for. It's like, I guess it's like a bunch of excuses that involve other people that are stopping you from continuing on this journey. And again, like being in the past, being frozen. Sometimes Cancer is very, very dependent and manipulative in this very like covert way, and very victimizing of like everything else is the problem and the issue for why I can't continue on, for why I can't move on, like woe is me, you know, da 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 da. And our emotions and triggers from our emotions keep us in the past, because for us to have that trigger, it's coming from something that happened, a trauma that happened beforehand. Because if it hadn't have happened, if we were in the present moment, then we wouldn't be as triggered. So there is a need to move on, to move on from this pain. We have the Depth card here. The thing with Taurus and Libra, sometimes they get a bad rap because they're ruled by Venus, and Venus can be superficial. It doesn't want to kind of examine themselves. It doesn't want to, you know, they'd rather just put a band-aid over an open wound that needs stitches. So it's like, oh, for example, I'm having all of these bad relationships, and I know I should be in solitude and understand myself and my energy and kind of go back to these projects that I may have neglected because of the relationships that distracted me. But how about I just go and get into another relationship? Like, that would be an example of just completely saying fuck it to going deep. And the opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. Just a short astrology lesson here. Scorpio and Taurus are similar in some ways, but very different. Taurus may just kind of look on top of the table and see that it's crooked and be like, that doesn't look right. I wonder what's going on. Scorpio will already have like turned the table over, examined the structure of the table, torn it apart, for looking at its pieces, really examining, even trying to figure out where this table came from, doing all of this investigation, going deep, deeper than probably necessary, way deeper than, say, if we're just talking just the sign. Not if you have the sign, but just the energy and the archetype of the sign. Taurus, that's a lot of effort for Taurus. That's a lot of effort for the goddess. That's a lot of effort for Aphrodite. She's just over here like, yeah, that table does look crooked. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? It's like, Scorpio's like, fuck. Like, I see what the problem is. Let's really make sure all the loose ends are tied so we don't have this issue again. Or if this, sadness comes up, we're not avoiding it, we're acknowledging it, we're looking at it, we're digesting what has been lost, and then when that's digested, we can turn around and look at these cups that are still standing, these projects, this abundance that I already have on my own, that I have grown on my own, that is self-sustaining, that is innate within me. And we can work with it, and we can turn this 7 into a 10 or a 20 or just an infinite amount of just worthiness, of abundance, of prosperity, of value, of projects, of ideas, of things coming into fruition. So you're being invited. Open yourself up again. Open yourself up to moving forward. To maybe some of you do need some time alone to really understand how you shine, why you shine, and why you don't need other people to tell you that you shine, because that won't do anything. That won't fix anything. And if you really resonate with this, you already know. You may have been getting a call, and it's a beautiful call to be. It is beautiful. There's a beautiful thing to be called, to be alone, to be called into solitude, to be called into hermitude, because that means there is some treasure to be dug into, some beautiful ocean scenery in the depths of you to be looked at, to regain, to become whole with, so that you can, this person's awesome. Wow, they're so beautiful and perfect, and scratch that word perfect, obviously, but you can also be like, dude, I'm out here too, because we all shine. But it starts with you recognizing how you shine, what you have to offer, and don't be afraid to be alone. It's so hard at first. And it may be even harder if you're a Venus-ruled person, like if you have a lot of Libra in your chart, or if you are a very codependent water sign like Cancer can be sometimes, or people pleaser. We also have Virgo here in reverse, which Virgo can completely neglect themselves because they're taking care of everybody. So if you resonate with any of that, it's time to be selfish, self-involved, and self-explorative, because you have a journey to continue. You can take a break, but there's no need to quit. There's no need to stop. There's no need to allow others to distract you from you finding your light. So group 2, that is your reading. I felt very passionate about this group. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And check out my description box for my Instagram handle, my podcast links, my website, and anything else that you're curious about this video and or channel. So tune in, folks, for more, and I will see y'all again soon. Love you. Welcome, group 3. If you chose this card, this is your reading about how you are programmed or conditioned. What is your programming? So I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I am going to kind of collect my thoughts on this particular card, and then I'm going to fast forward while I shuffle on camera, play a little bit of lo-fi, and then I'll come back with more information from the cards that come out. So starting with this card, this came out in reverse. We are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. This, I instantly thought of race, or just any other ways that we identify ourselves or categorize ourselves, but this sort of like me against the world sort of energy of we're different. There's a difference in us. Yeah, this group just feels like they're very much like me versus them. I'm hearing there's nothing we have in common. Like, Yeah, maybe racially or ethnically, you just feel like, you know, because we have two women who are white, Caucasian, and another woman who is of a darker race. I can't really tell by her hair but she's darker. So this could be quite literal, where you're just like, we don't have anything in common. We aren't sisters. Like, my sisters look like me. Or something like that. Or maybe, you know, your sexual identification, or just something that you feel makes you different and unable to relate to another group of people, or another, like, I'm hearing corporation, but I don't think that's the right word. I mean, maybe it's religion. There's something here where you're just like, there's this like separation. You're just like, no, we don't mesh. So, all right, let's go ahead and shuffle some cards. Okay, group 3. I'm going to do like I did for group 2 and read this card. So we have the artificial heart. Moon phase new. Quote, if I don't feel the warmth of the sun, will I blame the sun or myself? Ooh. Wow. 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 Okay, I have to pause for this one. So, I got bullying and heartbreak and betrayal and just issues pertaining to a friend group. And I was like, this group feels like a lone wolf. And of course, the Uranus card came out again. It came out for another group. But I'm hearing like I can do battle by myself. And groups may be hard for you, or finding a community may be hard for you. People may have been really mean to you, or maybe this is the demeanor that you have carried just so that you stay on your toes, so people don't kind of catch you off guard. But I just feel like there's been a lot of just, I'd rather be alone than with people who are going to judge me for, you know, whatever it is. But there's something very unique and eccentric about you. And right now you may be processing some possibly some childhood betrayal, some things that came up from childhood, maybe coming up for you. Maybe you're being, reintroduced with some of those things. But I just feel this energy of like being cold, being cutthroat, being shisty. I like that word, shisty. That was my stomach. Anyway, wow, a female figure, an android or a robot with cyber lines traveling over the skin like gentle spiders. A black choker of feminine servitude and jade eyes of futuristic indifference. Building oneself to specifications, steeling oneself to adversity, dreaming of electric sheeps. That's weird. That last part was really weird, but the feminine servitude makes me think of this card at the bottom of the deck. We have Libra, and then we also have Venus in reverse, and we have, which I feel is important, oh wow, and we have Pisces. We have Neptune in reverse, we have Pisces in reverse, and we have the moon in reverse. So I feel this group, maybe even when they were younger, or even now, has had a lot of high expectations on humanity. For a long time, you have maybe even shape-shifted yourself to fit in with other people, trying to be in these different groups that weren't really for you, and maybe even around people who didn't see the divine in you and they judged you. And maybe you have this kind of, specifically, a hang-up around like women, groups of women. For some of you, it may not be all of you, but just maybe dealing with women has been really painful in your past, and you have opened your heart to different friendships and different groups, and you've just felt continuously outcasted from them. Just a lot of coldness, rigidity, and judgment from the women that have been in your life, that have been around you in your life. And we have this lack of nurturing here. 2 with another card at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this group feels like they may have had an idealized idea of how other people may be, how groups of people may be, and then they get into it and they're like, wow, this was just so not what I thought it was going to be. Now I just feel even more ostracized, or like romanticizing people and then getting upset, or giving people the benefit of the doubt, even being very diplomatic with people. Maybe you have a Mars in Libra, or Venus in Libra. I have a link down below in the description box underneath the timestamps if you're curious about your birth chart. If you do have your time of birth, you get the most specific information, just a heads up. But I'm just going to be throwing out astrological energies that I'm feeling. But yeah, you're so different, and people see that. People recognize that. I'm almost... It's funny because these cards sometimes look at each other. The way that this guy is looking at this doll and vice versa, it's like people are like, whoa, what is that? Like, you're almost not even human. People can pick up on that energy. And yeah, with this playtime card, this feels very much like childhood energy. And maybe you even feel kind of cut off from your inner child as well. Some of you may have been drawn to group 1. But yeah, there could have been a lack of vitality, nurturance, and even just happiness. You may have been kind of depressed in your adolescent time. Maybe you were even different from the people who were in your like racial group, or yeah, maybe you were mature for your age, or you just had a different way of being. And this also makes me think of like putting on a front of like a fake smile around people, which again, Libra can be very accommodating as an archetype and an energy. But yeah, finding a vitality again through oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. My stomach's going crazy. I'm sorry about that. Reconnecting with your inner child in a positive way and finding those things that really lifted you up. Even if people thought like, wow, that's weird, you know, like who cares now? But just like finding light and beauty in those things again. I'm hearing that it might be a little bit triggering going back there. Maybe right now you're kind of still in a space of like remembering what was lost and not remembering what you still had left. And again, the betrayals, the deception, people maybe talking behind your back and saying crappy things about you behind your back because you're a star and they're, you know, a sheep. Okay, let's get back to this card. Once upon a time, it was a time of flying monkeys. Someone journeyed to a place that wasn't Kansas in order to gain a heart. Oh, such a charming old-fashioned fairy tale. A new heart can be bought on the internet now and be delivered in a couple of days with a brand new shiny instruction manual. It works too. It gets the job done. It's not a job of feelings, it's scripted, like a job of numbers. Actually, it feels like a trade-off. We find refuge in the rational mind, which in turn gives us back the illusion of control. Okay, I'm getting hardcore Aquarius energy as well. Mars in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, or Moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius can detach itself. It could be the archetype of Aquarius, the energy of Aquarius can attach itself from their emotions. From people, can be very isolating, which I can see in the King of Wands, the King of Swords in reverse, and the Page of Swords in reverse. You also have Judgment in reverse too. And so all of these are just telling me maybe you're in a state right now where you have become the person that has hurt you. So maybe now you're the one who judges other people before they can judge you. And so you're just like, they won't understand. They won't get me. They, you know, they'll think I'm a freak or just something along those lines. So you've become kind of robotic, which again is kind of a negative aspect or description of the energy of Aquarius, of just being very much, it kind of, the detachment blocks you off from showing people who you are, which here I feel is the conditioning, is like you have to hide now because you feel that other people won't understand you, because you feel like they're going to make fun of you or they're going to hurt you. And so you're being invited to show yourself and allow the people who can't handle it to fall away. The people who will judge you, the people who are like, I don't understand why you like collecting pennies. Like, that's, who does that? Like, as an example, just not worrying about those people, because there's something really beautiful and vibrant about you that, compared to this card, we have all of these, so much color, but compared to this card, it's like you've kind of muted yourself because of your past hurts. And that doesn't help anyone either, because there's people out there who are like wanting what you have, who want what you have in the sense of like they need you to inspire them through the way, through your uniqueness. So okay, but we still long to live through our emotions fully. We are truly like an artificial knight that wants to become a real person. Happiness is not in numbers, but it's not because numbers are bad. It is because there is nothing that alone can grant happiness and guarantee it. We trade in the natural world for artificiality, and then we blame this choice as the reason why our sky has no color. What if it's not actually connected? What if it's just an excuse? What if even an artificial heart could beat and fall in love and drown in sorrow? Yeah, this feels like, I'm looking at this Five of Cups again. This feels like, and this Haunted card, this feels like now it's kind of boiling over. You can no longer avoid how you've been hurt. And so, it's at this point you're processing that to then begin to accept yourself for who you are and not be this kind of sterile person because people in the past haven't accepted you. I'm almost getting the image of like a child who wants to play, but no one wants to play with that child for whatever reason. And that's just, it has nothing to do with you, my child. It has nothing to do with you. I'm looking back at the description here of this, and I'm seeing the word control. And Aquarius is a fixed sign. It is also traditionally ruled by Saturn, which also rules Capricorn. And so Saturn can be a lot about control, controlling how people perceive you. This child also looks kind of stunned, like surprised, maybe embarrassed as well. So it's like portraying that you're cool, or the idea of what is cool, so that you're not embarrassed, or again, this sort of sterile identification, or this sterile way of expressing yourself, to be in control of how other people see you. And that is not your responsibility, and that's a lot of effort. It's just a lot of effort. The new moon here, I feel, is important because it represents a new slate, starting over, and making a decision on what you want before the full moon comes and culminates, and asks us to purge, and until the following new moon after that full moon comes, for our same manifestation to kind of come through that month period, through that month cycle, 1 month cycle, moon cycle period. But long story short from that, it's like starting over. How do you want to show up now that you maybe know this or are being reconfirmed this? And how long do you want to be in solitude? If some of you are like, dude, I'm ready to find my soul tribe. For some of you, it's like you can't find them or track them to you if you're hiding. There's one night I was in the car. I was probably baked, and it was really cold. There was like a nice chill in the air, and I had the windows down, and I was just really feeling the music that was on, and I howled. And I was like, just in my mind, I was like, I'm ready for my soul tribe to come, and this is my call to them. So I howled, and people around were looking, but it was just, it was really awesome and liberating. So I'm inviting you to howl, whether that howl is literal or the way that you decide to show up in the world. That is your howl, to let your soul family, your soul tribe, your people, your true people, your true community know, like, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for you now. I'm done hiding, and I'm ready to show myself. I'm ready to express myself, and I know that the people who are meant for me will be aligned with my authenticity. Okay, group 3, that is your reading for how you are conditioned and programmed. This has been a really groovy topic. I really liked it. It was really cool. Yeah, so comment down below if anything stuck out with you. Start a conversation going with anyone else who chose this group. Maybe they're part of your soul family. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more readings like this one, and check out my description box for more of my offerings. I have a podcast, my Instagram handle, and my blog site down there as well, and some other stuff too. So definitely check that out, and I will see you again soon. Love you.